coloured in Lotus. It's been around for quite a goodly number of years now. Quite a strange object running in the River Street class. And an enlarged Lotus engine, something like 80 in this machine. A lot of work goes into that car. If you remember the original Lotus Elan, which are now very, very collectible indeed. This is both wider, longer, lower, and a lot larger engine. So there's quite a bit of work involved in that. Phil Manzi, the man in the Cougar, in the right-hand lane. Phil Manzi at present sitting outside of the top 8 in the street car, but I mean we are working on various Phil Manzi going through there 22nd, so quite a bad month for him. As we move on straight to the point, another super street car in the left-hand lane, and Mickey Mouse, this Volvo P1800S in the right-hand lane with the quite unusual front end. Going from memory, of course, which I do from time to time, my old age allows me to do this, there was a 400 cubic inch Pontiac engine in that machine. And as I'm looking out the window, I rather think that it's starting to trickle with rain once more. So I don't know whether our crew are going to shut them down on the start line. Of course, drag racing is all about traction. And when it's wet, of course, traction is a thing that disappears out the window. So let's wait and see exactly what is happening here. Certainly the crew's taking the cars right the way back and shutting them down. It does look as though the rain's got the better of us once more. Well, we'll just hold these for just a couple of moments and then we will be back on with the running, providing, of course, that the rain doesn't beat us totally. But it does look as though it's coming down quite hard now. Quite a lot for you to see if you're out there in Pitland, though. Have a walk around, see if you've got some merchandising shops in there. Nice to see got a couple of T-shirts here from...
Explosion there. Is it too early to tell what happened?
Yeah, we know as far as it's a valve train problem. So we have a valve train coming up of the valve cover, and that causes a whole explosion.
It seems to have done a fairly comprehensive destruction job on the top of the engine.
Yeah, it's not only on the top of the engine, it's a block too. So we have cracks in the block, and it seems that this engine is over.
The engine's finished. About how much money have you just said goodbye to?
I haven't counted yet.
And I guess you don't want to?
No.
You have a spare engine?
No. This is our last one.
So your weekend is finished now?
Yes, suppose so, yes. See what we can do, if there's any parts to, if we can buy something or so, but it not seems it seems very hard to race anymore this weekend.
Well, for someone who must be as disappointed as you are, you're looking pretty good.
Yeah, we'll go home to Sweden and collect some more money and come back.
Thanks.
Is that any reason over here?
I take it that's what, the battery pack's all wrong?
Yeah.
Not moving. Up the tree as they can, of course. All of them will be in this 16-car field. We've seen 14 cars so far. I don't know if there's any other supergassers here who need to put in runs that we haven't yet seen. If it takes it over and above the 16-car field, well, of course, nobody wants to get knocked out, so we'll have to see what happens. But it's Frank Griffin in the pot and Richie Lee in this really spectacularly turned out Firebird in the left-hand lane. And let's see how they get on, both moving into the stage. There's the green. Well, certainly the grip seems to be back in the strip, which is good.
And he goes under the index again, 9.80 for Richie Lee, 131 miles an hour for the substraker.
Well, this must have good for Frank Griffin because he was right with him there, wasn't he?
Certainly was.
So he's at number 10 position at the moment, so let's see how he got on this time. Waiting for the information to come through on the computer. Don't forget he'll be looking to get as near to 9.90 as he can. And it's 10.10, that's good. That gets him up into that top 8, 10.10 for Frank Griffin. And that puts Mark Flavel on the bump spot of the top 8. And moves Frank Griffin up into the number 3 position. Well, it's 10.000. It wasn't 10.10.
A fine run from him there. And we got Gordon Appleton with the main ingredient Pontiac. And Gordon at the moment sitting in number 12 spot, 10.57. Tim Adam in the top half of the field. He's number 6 with 10.01. So it'll be interesting to see what they manage to do with that car. Both the cars coming into stage. Good launch set for Tim Adams. Gordon Appleton about a car length behind. And Tim Adams goes under the index, 9.89.
Thousandths for the second.
That's right. But look at the terminal speed, 139 miles an hour for Tim Adams.
Well, let's have a look at Gordon Appleton because it was quite a good run from him as well. Sitting in the number 12 spot at the moment. So here it comes, Gordon Appleton's time coming through. And his present time 10.57 with his previous best, but a bit slower that time around. 10.658 with a terminal speed of 126 miles per hour. And Brian Payton comes back now with the quartermaster. That's the Red Firebird, furthest away from the main grandstand. And Keith Dawson with his Mark III Cortina down here in the lane closest to us. Well, quite a difference in engines here. 302 small block in the Mark III Cortina. 455 high output big block Pontiac engine in that red Pontiac in the far lane.
A good launch there for Keith Dawson. Couple of car lengths ready for miles an hour.
There's Brian Payton in the other lane, and Brian already sitting in the number 3 spot. And after that run, I don't know whether he's going to better himself at all. Let's wait and see what we get coming through for Brian Payton. Has run a 9 seconds, right on the index, 9.91, but slower that time around. What am I saying though? 10.17, it's a great time. 132 miles per hour. And move on to the strip.
Dave Mingay, pro modified. A couple of average runs for him, I'm sure he's like to get on motor engagement. This week with the Catra, Mark 114 over the 351 Ford engine at the moment, in the top half of the field. Dave Mingay, 10.60, 134.
Chris Wink's at number 9 at the moment, just opening the escape hatch in his bodywork there, trying to emulate the funny car drivers a little bit there. There's 2 different classes here, as Steve was saying. Super Gas with Chris Wink, the Mark 1 Cortina estate car, and Dave Mingay in the Hellraiser Monster, furthest from the main grandstand, running in pro mod of course, and this is a 7-second car, isn't it, the Monster?
Certainly is. Dave Mingay has run 7.92 at 173 miles an hour. A lot of dives in there. Dave Mingay away from the line.
Dave Mingay's run a 10.20 up until now. Let's see how he's done this time. Gets to the top end first. A lot of smoke up at the top end there.
Chris Wicks, that is. That's got a bit of oil smoke there at the top end.
Well, 9.73, 125 miles per hour for Dave Mingay, keeps him exactly in the same position, the number 3 spot. Well, let's have a look at Chris Wicks. We're just checking that.
Well, our fire crew's making their way up there towards Chris Wicks. It's very difficult to see from our angle.
10.372 at 131 for Chris Wicks.